we need to talk. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Jared and James channel. I am Jared Weiss, and if you didn't know that, it means you're not subscribed. So you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button right now, and at the end of the video, if you guys like the video, be sure to smash that like button at the end too, especially if you guys really would like to help out our channel, be sure to do that. So, we need to talk. So a lot of you guys already know this, so obviously all of my close friends already know this, like people who've been following my Instagram for a while, like already know this, but what I realized is that I never really told you guys on YouTube my full health issue story. So I've definitely been mentioning it briefly throughout other videos. At one point I was actually considering either waiting until I got all better to tell you guys everything that I've been going through, or on the other hand, as I also mentioned, I've also been writing a book the past 2 years. So regardless of what I tell you guys during this video, the book, which should hopefully come out next year, will definitely be the most complete version of my whole story, my health issues and stuff. So you guys are definitely going to want to buy that next year. Be sure to do that. If you guys want to support me, support the channel. So anyways, as I said, we need to talk. This isn't going to be easy, but then again, I've also gotten so used to telling the story over the past 7 years. So I've actually almost become numb to telling it. But then again, this is my life, and this is my story, and I really want to be able to take you guys along for the journey, throughout my healing, especially as I continue to get closer and closer to being all better. I want you guys. I definitely want this whole story to be somewhere on YouTube. So this way I could be open, I could be transparent. And this way you guys can understand what I've been going through for the past 7 years. So let's get into it. Also, this is actually the first video where I'm going to be using the new Rode microphone that I got to add on to the camera. I really hope the audio sounds good on it. We'll see how it goes. Let's get to it. So in 2014, right after I had just finished high school, and then I had also just finished my amazing summer at camp as a camp counselor, which happened to be one of, if not the best summer of my life, which is actually the summer where I first met James, and I was actually his counselor. We'll definitely be going in more depth of the story of how me and James met. We'll definitely be doing that in future videos. So anyways, I had just finished that summer, and then I had gone up to Cornell University, where I was supposed to go to college. So 3 weeks into my first semester, things had been going really well. I was working hard, and also I had also had this goal to try out as a walk-on for the Cornell basketball team. So that was my goal. I'm coming in. My AAU coach had actually advised me to first try out for the club team as a way of showing the head coach of Cornell how I matched up against the other players, and then from there my AAU coach was gonna try to tell the Cornell coach how good I was, how hard of a worker I was, so anyways, I tried out for the club team, and also keep in mind at a D1 school, club teams have some really good players. So club team that I tried out for definitely had plenty of D3 level players and maybe even some D2 level players. I tried out for the team. I have one of the best tryouts of my life. I actually didn't miss a shot the whole tryout. It was crazy. And also in my book, I'll definitely be going in more depth with my whole basketball story and all that. So I have this unbelievable tryout 3 weeks into my first college semester. Then all of a sudden one day I started to feel I'm really sick. So I go to the doctor and I get misdiagnosed with the flu. The doctor sent me back to my room. Then a few days later, I started having some really bad symptoms. I couldn't move. I called my mom up. I ended up in ICU. So then after that, my mom comes up. I go to the hospital. Ends up sending me back to my room. So then my mom came up to help me out, to take care of me. She helped me to bring my fever down, because I had a really high fever. And then a few days later, I'm on the floor, can't move, throwing up the night before, all this other stuff going on, which you guys will definitely be able to read the more detailed version about in my book. It's gonna be the best summary video I have, just for all my new subscribers, as well as my current followers and friends who actually want to hear me talk about my whole story. So from there, then ENT comes to my room. He's telling me to open the door. I almost couldn't even make it to the door. Somehow I crawled there, opened the door, and he starts telling me how either I could take an ambulance, which isn't covered by insurance, or on the other hand, I could basically stay there. God only knows what would have happened had I stayed there on the floor. I call my mom, and then I end up going to the hospital. Then next thing I know, my parents would come up to visit me. My brother comes up to visit me within that day, and as well as the day after. Turns out I have a severe pneumonia in one of my lungs. But unfortunately, in the first hospital, the doctors didn't really know what was going on. So the doctors didn't really treat me properly. I started getting pumped with tons of antibiotics. According to my parents, at one point I was on 21 different antibiotics at once, which is crazy. That's not, especially with everything I know now. When it comes to holistic medicine, being on 21 antibiotics, it's gonna cause your body to react crazily. The doctors didn't know this at the time. So I'm pumped with tons of antibiotics, antiviral medication Tamiflu. All these wires were attached to me. I was being pumped with tons of different things. The doctor asks me if it's okay for him to put a tube down my throat. So I said yes, and then from there things got really fuzzy. I woke up at one point I was in some white room, and I was intubated and put on a ventilator for what I believe was 9 days. As my time was coming to an end, at the end of the first hospital, my parents wanted some reassurance from the doctor that I was going to be okay. The doctor really wasn't sure. And keep in mind my brothers were hearing this too. This must have been devastating for them. From there, the doctor transported me to the next hospital after he realized there was nothing more that he could do for me. And then I was put in a medically induced coma for 3 days. And then during this time, I actually had some really crazy hallucinations, which I actually didn't even know were hallucinations until after I had gotten out of the hospital a few months later. So the doctor at the second hospital, thank God for him, he was my emergency savior. So anyways, he took me off of most of the medicine I was on. He knew what was happening. And then shortly after, my body starts having an autoimmune response. And the doctor thought the response was to the infection, but based on everything that I've researched when it comes to all the issues that I'm currently going through, what I realized is that this wasn't a normal response to the infection. This was a response to all of the medication I was on. I was being pumped with tons of medication. My body had wires all over the place. And also at one point, I'm pretty sure my temperature was up to over 104, I think. The nurses had to give me ice blankets to cool me down. It was crazy. And also keep in mind, I had never drank before, I never smoked before. For God's sakes, I had never eaten anything unhealthy since I was in 8th grade. My only bad thing that I did was that I used to sacrifice sleep. Could that have been part of what had happened? Maybe. I have a lot of other theories, which I'm going to be writing about in my book, but I just want to keep things pretty general here. I don't want to attack anyone. I don't want to attack any of the medication too much. But yeah, so anyways, I have an autoimmune response. I started having involuntary movements. Then I was given steroids to override my overreactive immune system. And then from there, overall, I was in 4 different hospitals over a span of 6 weeks. I had to relearn how to walk, how to talk, Like at first, like when all the tubes were pulled out of me, I had no voice at all. Like I had nothing. Like I couldn't even go to the bathroom on my own. And this was like pretty rude awakening for someone like who was supposed to be a healthy college student. Like always prided his life like on being so healthy. Like this was crazy. This was nothing that anyone could have ever anticipated or expected. I was transported to Schneider's hospital, closer to home for a few weeks. Once the steroids started kicking in, like once my immune system started to calm down. Then from there, last hospital was NYU Rusk, which was like more of a rehabilitation center. But like this whole time, like, I'd really felt like trapped in my own body, like trapped in my own mind. Like I couldn't communicate them the way I wanted to. Once my voice did come back, I started to develop like a severe slurred speech. Couldn't swallow well. Like, everything was just like was off. Like my body was in total chaos. And then over the next 6 months, I was on like tapering doses of steroids. But like the steroids like were making me retain weight, like and then I was also getting severe panic attacks, anxiety. I was dealing with horrible PTSD, and then also like I couldn't work out the way I was used to, and I couldn't work out the way I wanted to. Like one time when I was at the last hospital, like I actually tried shooting a basketball with my physical therapist, and like I couldn't even like reach the rim on most of my shots. This was devastating. So then I started to recover slowly but surely. Then obviously like, a lot of things happened in between here. So like I had like other instances with dealing with digestive issues, like and I also had like other like setbacks. Like during the time, as I said before, like you'll be able like to read all the details like when my book comes out. And to keep this stuff more like general, like just so you guys like know like the whole story, like as like what's going on with me. So then in 2017, towards the end of 2017, I started developing horrible digestive issues. Like over the next year or so, like the only two foods I could digest were steak and eggs. Like even those foods, like my body still like wouldn't feel great. So like I was like throwing up often. I was having horrible digestive symptoms like acid reflux like crazy, heartburn, throwing up. We had no idea like all the stuff that was like connected like to everything I had gone through back in 2014, but like it turns out nothing happens in isolation. Everything has a root cause. So then towards the end of 2018, after seeing like 30 different doctors who all told me I was crazy, who had tested me and told me everything was fine, like when I knew for a fact that everything wasn't fine, but because like in addition to that, to the digestive symptoms, I'd also developed like my speech issues had gotten worse. Like I started developing the severe stammer and stutter, which I'm still like dealing with today, as well as I started having like balance issues. Like I was having ocular migraines. Everything started to like appear like tilted like to me. So then I got tested by a naturopath finally, who was able to determine right away and that all the issues I was currently experiencing were all related to the severe amounts of medication I was on back in 2014 and then to 2015, like because like all that stuff like wrecked my gut, like wrecked like the whole like gut brain barrier. Like the main thing which I know now is that like all that stuff like it can put like toxins into my body. My body like couldn't get rid of these toxins efficiently. So then I followed this one naturopath's holistic health protocol supplement program for about 2 years. I was taking herbs, like I was taking teas, I was taking tinctures, like but like during the time like I'd also been doing a lot of like research on my own as far as like the nutrition aspect of things, because like as in the past like I've always been someone like very thorough. Like, I'm always asking questions, like, and I've also been like always interested when it comes to nutrition and performance and like helping myself like truly understand everything that it is that I want to know. So then once I realized that like I still wasn't getting all better yet, like I realized that something was still not fully right. I ended up finding another naturopath who you guys could check out in the comment section of my video, Victor Cazzetto from the Vitagenics health protocol. So anyways, like for the past 9 months I was able to discover that all those medications ended up leaving heavy metals in my body, and then they ended up leaving mold, like candida overgrowth, ulcer, leaky gut syndrome. So this is like all the stuff I was dealing with. A lot of this stuff the original naturopath had figured it out, but like her program wasn't complete enough to deal with these things. So for the past 9 months, I've been following Victor Cazzetto's Vitagenics health protocol, to remove the heavy metals, to remove the mold, get rid of the candida overgrowth, as well as to follow this whole like detoxing, holistic, healthy lifestyle, changes too, doing things such as grounding, taking more clay baths, as well as Epsom salt baths, taking things to remove the heavy metals, to remove all that stuff for me, to remove all the toxins from my body, and to once again nourish my body the way it needs to be. I will be making other videos. I'm talking about the current health protocol. I'm following more in depth, but that's what's been going on generally speaking. And my digestion's been improving. My energy has slowly been improving. This whole process has been very frustrating, very time consuming. I've definitely cried a lot. I've dealt with a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression during these past 7 years. But at the same time, I've also learned a lot about who my true friends are. Having someone like James always there for me has meant the world to me. I can't even say enough. As well as my parents, my brothers, and my whole family has really always been there for me. And having that really means the world to me. Without them, I don't know where I would be. So that's the whole general outline of what I've been dealing with for the past 7 years. If I forgot anything, I'll be adding it into the words in the video, or I'll be adding it to the description. Or on the other hand, you guys could check out the book when it's out, hopefully next year. Hopefully I'll have that out to you. Also, guys, could also read some of my past Instagram posts talking about this stuff. Yeah, so this video wasn't easy to make. But at the same time, I definitely wanted this stuff out there in video form. I definitely wanted this stuff on my YouTube channel. For anyone who's wondering why my speech sounds different, why I'm always talking about these digestive issues whenever I mention how I was in a coma. And so I wanted you guys to have a more complete description as far as what I went through, as well as what I'm still dealing with to this day. As my life-saving doctor said, Jared's a fighter, and he also said I was meant for great things. So I truly believe that. I believe everything happens for a reason. Who knows? Maybe without this whole life-changing perspective, maybe I wouldn't have the appreciation for life and for helping others and get through their tough times the way I do. As well as giving me this platform I have to inspire others through my own experience with this life-threatening illness, and all the subsequent health complications and severe health issues that I've been going through. None of it's been easy, but I could guarantee myself once I get through it all, it will all be worth it. So that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed hearing about my whole story. Maybe the story will help you guys to remember never to give up on yourself, never to give up on others, especially never give up on your dreams. Because anything is possible. I'm still here. I'm gonna get through this. I will eventually get all better, and then I will be making more videos talking about how I got all better. I think we're all meant for great things. The challenges in life aren't meant to destroy us, they're actually meant to show us what we're truly made of. Remember this, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. So anyways, if you guys haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. We have so much more amazing content coming your way. And hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day. Stay grinding, stay hustling, never give up. Anything is possible. Remember that. See you guys in the next video. Peace!